Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup.
Feisal, how are you, mate?
Not too bad, yourself?
Yeah, I can't complain. Look, I've never done this before, so go easy on me. I'm just going to... I've written down a few questions. I'm going to fangirl a little bit because I'm a big fan of the band. But I'll go for it. So I'm young Nicholas Blom, and I'm sitting in with Everblack Media this evening. I'm sitting down with Feisal from the band Loathe in the UK, who we're just about to tour with While She Sleeps and Mirrors, doing Brisbane, Newcastle, Sydney, Belgrave, Melbourne, Adelaide, and Perth. Wow, you must be pumped, man.
Can't wait. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting tour. I just it's cool to finally be able to experience Australia for the first time. So both as a musician and as a tourist.
Yeah, so you guys started the band in 2014. Are you able to tell me about how the band came together, what you guys were doing prior to that?
Yeah. I joined in 2018. So.
Okay. Yep. Sorry, my bad.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But I think the guys had a band called Our Imbalance beforehand, and then the kind of rebrand of that became what Loathe is. Okay. And then I'd heard of the band just as they'd signed to the current label that we're now signed to, which is Sharptone. I was in a band called Holding Absence, who actually, funny enough, just played Australia, and we did a split with Loathe at the time, and the kind of stars aligned, and it was kind of, I felt like my path was going to be more down the route of what I wanted with Loathe, and their bassist was leaving, so I was just like, okay, I'll fill in there. I was a guitarist initially, but I'm not really particular about what instrument I play, as long as the music's good. So.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. So you were playing in Holding Absence, were you?
Yeah, I played guitar for Holding Absence back
small
during
world.
Very small world.
That's actually how I discovered Loathe. Was one of my friends showed me that split, and yeah, I fell in love with both bands. And Dan Weller from Sixth, I've met him a couple of times, and he's a really good dude. He just produced their new album. Yeah,
he's a good guy. Dan, really nice guy.
Yeah. So yeah, I was going to say, obviously, I'm assuming that split EP came about because you guys were touring together, or just buddy bands.
It was actually we just really liked each other's music, and we thought that we were the kind of bands that were kind of being pushed quite a bit on that label as well. So we thought, it'd be kind of cool to kind of create like a moment in time where these bands actually knew each other, because we always. I mean, everyone in both bands, we were kind of big fans of watching like studio updates of bands, and it's just every now and again you'd see, that person knew that person, or like, yeah. I remember like on an Instagram post like back years ago, it was like, I think it was Death Havana, and then Bring Me the Horizon, and I realized that they were friends. And it was just but being that young and seeing things that showed that those bands were friends at one time. Well, I mean, obviously still are. Was really cool, so we kind of wanted to create that for ourselves and just a nice little moment in time to look back on.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it is. The music scene is a very small scene, that's for sure.
Very, very cool.
I was going to ask, are you able to tell me about your personal influences? This is a two-part question, that your influences and actually what you're listening to right now.
Influences for me, funny enough, an Australian band called Tame Impala. Obviously, other users say Australia, they're massive anyway.
I'm great band.
In Townsend, the 1975, which are like my favourite band of all time. John Hopkins, electronic artist.
Okay. Bit of a broad scope.
Yeah, there's like the Strokes, Radiohead, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Every one of the bands like very broad. There's like an absolute mix of everything. I mean, it goes like right back to the Doobie Brothers, and yeah, it's all a big mix. And then what am I listening to right now? Let me check mine. Let me check. There's a Jimmy Eat World song, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet, but I am a fan.
It's called Something Loud. It's absolutely incredible. There's a band from Bristol who are on the same management as us called Foxjaw.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah.
They are one of the best live bands you'll ever see. They are absolutely like next level. Anytime I see them, I'm just like, it's just obscene how good they are. But they've got a new song out called Sun Gazer, which is amazing.
I'll be listening to that as soon as I get off the call.
Mate,
and if
so
they ever
good.
come over, I'll be sure to go see them.
Oh mate, they're unbelievable. And there's a composer called Jerry Goldsmith, and there's this film called Chinatown that he did a soundtrack to. It's quite old. It's from like it's really old, but it sounds amazing. It's got like this really nostalgic feel to it. And then also just was it Joe Hisashi? I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's like all the scoring for all the Studio Ghibli films. So I've just been listening to loads of that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like I said, very eclectic. It's good to I love that about metal is that a lot of people that play in the metal realm don't typically just listen to metal.
Of course, yeah.
Because I'm very much the same. I like my metal, but I listen to a lot of other stuff too.
Of course.
So I was going to ask, right, and I hope this isn't a touchy question at all, but since Connor left the band, have you guys considered getting a second guitar player to fill that void, or how are you actually tackling that in the live setting at the moment?
Currently, we just have a back and track guitar, which we kind of use sparingly only at points that we need it. I think we're not planning on introducing. Eventually, the idea is that we won't have any backing tracks, and we just have extra musicians on stage with us performing anything that's on the backing track, whether that's keys, whether that's extra percussion, whether that's saxophone, whether that's another guitar part or something like that.
Yeah.
But the chemistry in the band is like very complicated, and it's easy to like disturb it. So I think we're kind of sticking as us as like the core members, with the intention to kind of branch out whenever we have the financial capability to do so, or just the correct people to do it.
Yeah, of course. It's always hard when when you've been playing in a band for so long. The personalities mesh, and bringing in another one is tough. Yeah.
I mean, like we all hope that like he does well in what he does next and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, of course. I was going to say outside of the band, like, 'cause obviously the band's never been here before. Like, but have you ever been to Australia before?
Nope, never. First time. I think our guitarist Eric has got a sister out in Perth. I think it's Perth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I think he gets for the first time in a while, so which is nice. So yeah, but other than that, none of us have ever been, nor do we have any connections to Australia. So it's a first time completely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's very exciting then. Yeah. It's obviously awesome to be able to have the privilege to be able to tour the world and see the world from that side. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bit of a random question. What's the coolest rider that you've ever had backstage? And if you were to get to Metallica status, what's something outrageous you'd put on your rider?
The coolest rider, I couldn't tell you. I can tell you the worst one we've had, and it was... there's it was back, well, personally, it was an old Holding Absent show. There were 5 of us in the band, and our rider was 4 cans of Coke.
4 cans of Coke?
Cans of Coke for 5 people in the band, which I thought that was brilliant. And then there was another one recently that was, I think it was like 3 packets of crisps and some like hummus, but nothing. It was just that, because we constantly get asked to like update our rider and all that kind of stuff, and we have them, but we never get what we want. And we're not fussy. Like, for me personally, all I want is just some fruit, some vegan bits. It's literally all I want. But yeah, if I was to go like full deeperish for me personally, it would be fruit, a lot of fruit and vegetables that are non-GMO, organic, distilled water, only distilled water, no bottled, no tap water, and all, and even more specifically, just keeping everything alkaline. So nothing acidic, just all alkaline stuff. And
Yeah, okay.
maybe a bunch of shit or something. It's like this. It's like, you know what that stuff is?
No idea.
It's like this black stuff that uses out of the Himalayan mountains. That's just from like compressed rocks. So it's just basically concentrated vitamins and minerals, or minerals rather than vitamins, but like, yeah, it's just minerals. It's a black sludge that's really good for you. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Never heard of it before.
Yeah,
so that'll be on the rider one day.
Full deal, yeah. And then throw in an extra £100 on there as well. That's all right, money.
Yeah, of course. So look, I'm personally really excited for your show, the first show you guys do at the TRIFFID, because I've actually got tickets. My wife and I and my bandmates are all going to go together. We'd planned to go for ages.
Nice.
Yeah,
amazing.
So we're really pumped for that. I was going to ask, the set list, is it kind of a bit of a broad scope of the band's catalogue, or is it sort of more centered around I let it in, it took everything?
It's definitely centered more. I mean, the set in general nowadays is centered more around I let it in. I think with every kind of release that we do, we really want the songs on that record to be the ones that we play live. So it's very much like you capture the band in like the era of whatever record we're playing.
Yeah.
But I mean, because we don't really have like too much of a long set, we kind of, yeah, it's very eclectic. We kind of want to kind of present the broadest and most full spectrum presentation that we can offer as a band.
Yeah, of course. Well, I'm pumped, man. I can't wait to hear those songs live. Are you doing anything new?
No.
No. So, like the new single, like Dimorphous Display, is not going to make an appearance.
It might do. We haven't played it live yet, but we were toying with the idea of it. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure about that one. Yeah.
Oh, go on, bless us with that, mate. That'd be awesome. I remember when Tool toured just before COVID, and they played Tempest live for the first time, and we got it in Brisbane as the first
wow.
live.
That song's cool. Great, isn't it? Crazy.
Yeah.
That's mad.
So it'd be nice to see you off that list as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, it seems like a lot of UK bands are coming over at the moment. Like I'm actually going to see Sleep Token tomorrow night, who you guys have an affiliation with.
Yep, we know them. We know them. I was actually guitar teching for Sleep Token at their first ever show.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that was a while ago now. That was back in end of 2018, I believe. I could be completely wrong, but I think it was then.
I think I discovered both you guys and them around the same time as well. Like I started listening to them at about the same time, and yeah, it seems like a lot of the UK is really just going bonkers at the moment. I just did a couple of shows with the Nirvana tribute from the UK that wrapped up last night. Yeah, so it's just everyone from the UK is coming over, it seems.
A Nirvana tribute, it wasn't the Elvis Nirvana tribute, was it?
No, it was just straight Nirvana tribute. They're Irish, Scottish, and a Spanish guy. Yeah.
Fair, nice, cool.
Yeah. So not so much English. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much all the questions I had for you. But obviously, I'm super pumped to see you next week. And when do you guys actually get here?
I think we get there on the 30th because it's such like, because it's so far to travel, but it's also the way that the world's spinning. We're kind of going in different time zones, so it's pretty crazy.
You're a bit jet lagged, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 4-hour trip to Doha in Qatar, and then it's 14 hours flight. But we leave 9 p.m. from Doha, and then it's 14-hour flight, but we arrived 6 p.m. the next day. I was like looking at it, I was like trying to process that. I was like, I couldn't.
You'll get the hang of it once you're here, I reckon.
Yeah, very excited to this touchdown, and I mean, we'll definitely be made to stay awake by making sure that something doesn't kill us, any spiders, any black widows at the toilet seats, and all that kind of stuff. So
I think they talked that up a little bit, hey. You're not going into Central Australia where everything wants to kill you. You're staying on the outskirts. Yeah. Yeah, awesome, man. Well, look, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Yeah, like I said, really pumped for the shows with While She Sleeps and Mirrors. Obviously, plug the tour again, you know. And yeah, have a safe trip, man.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. All right, I'll let you go about your day or evening or whatever bloody time it is there.
It's not even 11 a.m. yet, so we've got the rest of the day ahead of me.